Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, strap yourselves in. It's time for your Tilton Talk Show.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's a team down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. The chant of Super Blues ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the Blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have a team of socks here at St Andrews.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night's Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Ball Sports. Another defeat for Blues yet again, and not a great thing to report again, really. Another game where we sort of get picked off easy for the goals. We create very little threat to the opposition again. We're still playing this horrible 3-5-2 formation, which I'm sure you know by now that I don't like. But
no.
Anyway, let's get into it. So we're joined by the team tonight. So we have no Nick tonight. So you have me presenting for a change. But yeah, first of all, we've got Mrs. Brown.
Good evening.
We're joined by the wonderful Mark Meredith over in America.
Good evening, guys.
Obviously, Mr. Rowe.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
And Mr. Craig Courtney, stroke fixer.
Evening all.
Good evening.
So what do we make then? Obviously, Mark Adams, I'll start with you, mate, because I know you was there. So give us your thoughts on the day and what the vibe's like amongst our supporters, obviously, and what the day was like for you, obviously, going up to Rotherham for the day.
Well, normally you look forward to your away games, win, lose or draw. But this one had just from about 12 o'clock onwards in the pub, it was just a complete and utter flatness about the whole day. And it spilled over into it. Normally we take a big crowd up there and we get into it and we get behind the team. That soon drifted after about half an hour. It was probably one of the worst away days I've had for a long time. Game-wise, it was pathetic. I can't think of any positives at all. It was just one of the worst afternoons we're following Blues we've had for a long time. And people didn't even get angry, to be fair. People were just sort of numb to it. There's no anger, no booze. It's just everyone's just in complete shock how bad it was. I can't even. You can't even say any man of the match. Well, I suppose Ruddy saving the penalty. It was just pathetic from the word go. And again, like you, Paul, I hate this formation. And I think the general feeling, especially at half time, nipping to the loo and stuff, everyone was saying the same thing. How long do we go on with this stupid formation? It's not the Blues way. It never has been. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It just does not work. We haven't got the players for it, and we never have done. I think Mark Roberts set the tone from the word go when he sort of just floats it forward to no one, and we're on the back foot within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah, and yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Get back to basics, I think.
Yeah. And Mark, in America, did you get to watch the game over there, mate, as well?
Yeah, I did. I watched it on the TV, and I'm with Mark. There's not real positives for me either. I thought, I'm with you guys, and I have been since we've spoken before. The formation for me is not working. I think you're playing players in positions that they don't normally play and are not used to. So you're throwing them in the deep end. I'm all for, with my job, and obviously in youth football, I'm all for bringing youth players in. But in a situation we're in, I feel like you're just throwing them deeper down by, bringing them in, making them play, 2-3 games a week, being stuck in what's a negative environment right now. You're just not helping anybody. I think it's just, we haven't got that. It doesn't seem like we have that leader on the field that really pushes everybody back up. I was hoping Deeney would be that. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about Deeney because I've read a lot about it this week. And it's a shame because he's one of us. But we need more from him, and we need more from some of the more experienced players in the team to really get into that dressing room and sort things out. I think
the hope for me is that, you know, we do come away from this formation, I'd like to think, and if we do sign a left back and not a left wing back, you know, and we can put Placheta left mid once he's fit again. I know he's injured at the moment, isn't he? He's going to be out for a couple of games, but once we can get everybody fit and available, you know, in a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, it might not be a bad, you know, 11 that we put out there, but, you know, you can say we're missing a few first teamers, especially in midfield, centre mid. But I just think that, you know, this formation, it invites the opposition onto us because we're playing 5 at the back more so than we are playing, 4 in midfield, if you like. And we're posing. I mean, I looked at the stats at half time and it was no shots on goal whatsoever, no attempts off target, never mind on target. So their goalkeeper literally could have got a sunbed out, couldn't he, and sunbathed for the 45 minutes. Shockingly bad. That's shockingly bad.
Sorry, Paul. I was just going to say, walking out afterwards. A lot of the Rotherham fans were saying to us, you know, this is one of the easiest games we've seen for a few years.
Yeah, and all
for an established championship side like us, it's just not good enough.
No, I know, yeah, but you're just inviting the opposition onto you, and you're posing a lot, you know, little threat to them. And I said it last week, didn't I? We're showing the opposition too much respect, you know, and that's what we're doing ultimately. And insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And if we keep sticking to the same old thing every game, then nothing's going to change, is it? You know, they're like rabbits in front of the headlights in this formation, I think. And I think it would do them a lot better if we could change it up and change the way we play a little bit. Well, a lot actually.
I think there's been a hope that it will change, but it's not going to change, is it? So
even short term, Chris, you know, if we don't get a left back, say, we're not going to get one for tomorrow night, are we? I would even go as far as to say, let's change it tomorrow night and let's put Maxime Cole in left back and Williams right back, you know, and play a back 4, or bring George Friend in and play in left back. Just don't put anybody wing, you know, just stop playing wing backs because it just doesn't work. No. So, Craig, your thoughts, mate?
No, I was going to say, I said on WM after the game, we've got to go back to basics because every time we even attempted to go forwards, Rotherham just spanked us down the wings. And then there was nobody there to win that ball back, to take the pressure off the remainder of the defence. And yeah, I've got to say, I mean, Robert's looked like a square peg in a round hole. It's time for us to strip things back. Tomorrow night, start 4-4-2 if we can, you know, and if what is being published across a lot of social media channels at the moment is Eustace's wish to play that way, then maybe we'll see it. But I said it at the end of my interview. I still question who he's picking, not picking the team, but who's stipulating we must play 3-5-2. Because we've got players at the club, maybe young, but if you don't play them, you'll never know whether they're good enough. And if we don't try it, we'll never find out. And, you know, fair play with today's signing. It's a very, very good one from a loan point of view. And if everything else be true, the fact that Chong appears to be coming on a permanent deal as well, for me, awesome business. Absolutely awesome business. And huge kudos to Paul Richardson and Maxi Lopez, who, to Tom Ross's reports, are actually funding part of that transfer as well. So for people that haven't taken over the club, I think it might be time for others to take them seriously now, because I believe they're well and truly getting their foot through the door.
Well, there has to be progress there. Otherwise, they wouldn't be, sort of putting their cash up front, would they? If they've not had any sort of confirmation that they can have any sort of investment in the club, then I wouldn't put my money into it, would you? You know, until you've actually given the authorisation to do what you want to do, then you ain't going to do it, are you? So that's a positive sign if, you know, their money is involved in that.
It's a big statement, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, yeah, Chong last season, obviously, especially at Luton away, he was unplayable. I'm not going to lie, it did frustrate me at times as well, but he's only a young lad learning his trade. You know, he sometimes he had to take a player on 4 or 5 times, didn't he, before he put a cross in? But, you know, he's got so much flair and skill and so much pace. And in this league, I think, you know, and certainly with this team now, he'll be a massive, massive improvement. You know, and again, as long as we play him in his best position, what do we think his best position is? is it a 10 behind the strikers, or is it wide on the right, or what do we think?
I think when he was at his best, he was attacking from that 10 position, but when they swapped it up, he wasn't afraid to come, and go and play on the wings. It'd be interesting though, because Hannibal, from speaking to some United fans, Hannibal is a very similar player to that of Chung. Now, if that's the case, how do you play the two together? Are we going to go 4-4-2 and put them across our wings? I mean, it'd be absolutely awesome if we did see that. But let's set the stall out nice and early. Hannibal's young. There's a lot of expectation from our fans already on his shoulders. If he comes through the door and he starts on fire, brilliant. But
Sorry, how young is he? How old is he?
He's only 19.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
pretty good. He's young, yeah. That's
coming
good.
through the door, and if it could be one of those, couldn't it? It could turn it so he becomes that fantastic player that everybody takes notice of. If he has one bad game and we get on the back as fans, it's going to do nothing but knock him. So again, comes back to let's back the players that are on the field. We don't agree with the management style in terms of senior management. No. We're hoping they're on the way out, but let's back the team while we can.
Yeah, I think it's also a good sign that we're hopefully, and I'm going to say it again for the last time, we're hopefully coming away from this wretched formation, because I'm hoping he's not buying Chung and Hannibal to play wing backs.
Yeah, I mean, 4-4-2. I mean, 4-4-2 is just like a new signing. If it comes back, it'd be exciting. May as well get our shirts done with 4-4-2 on the back.
Yeah.
It just, that's how much of a lift it'd give people.
Yeah. And in the last 4 or 5 years, again, I've said this before, I know, but obviously Gary Monk played it, didn't he? And what I didn't get, the biggest one I didn't get was Lee Bowyer, because those last 8 games of the season when he first came in, he won 5 out of those 8 games, if you remember, before he gave all the kids a game and rested a few and playing 4-4-2. And then the next season, I never seen it again, and he went to this 3-5-2 as well, and I never understood that to this day.
No.
Yeah, I think I agree with Craig on what he said earlier. I think you have to question who is actually doing these team not the selection of the team, but just the formations and things like that. Because I agree with you totally, Paul. I think we watched those games and Bowyer came in and everyone was excited, and we pretty much stayed up comfortably in the end.
Yeah.
And then he just went back to it again for the next season when his back's to the wall again. And I certainly believe that Deeney, Djukovic, Hogan can all score goals if they get the service that they need through 2 wingers. I really do.
Definitely. I even remember Lee Bowyer on his, I don't know, we're going back in time here now, but even in his sort of interview after his first game, he said, we've got Djukovic, who's a weapon in the air, and all you got to do is go back to basics and get that direct ball into the box, onto his head. And, I forget who we beat in the first game. Who did we beat in his first game at home 1-0? I know it was before any fans were back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I can't remember who it was against.
I can't remember now.
It was Djukovic's header that won it 1-0. And we just went back to basics, crossing the ball in for Djukovic. And
was it Charlton? It weren't Charlton, was it?
No, it weren't Charlton. No.
I can't remember off the top of my head who it was.
Someone will let us know.
Yeah,
a lot of comments coming in talking around positions and where the best player to play the players, and people are saying put Chung on the right, play Hannibal on the left, get 2 up front, and especially Djukovic, getting back in the team once this stupid, and I'll say it's stupid 2-match ban is over.
That was crazy.
Incidentally, still don't know why the club didn't argue that. I really don't.
No.
But once he's back in, there's no better person in the air. I mean, his stats
Definitely.
show it. You put a ball towards him, he'll win it, and he'll either get you the flick on or he'll get you the goals. Play to strengths and go from there. But a lot of people saying great signings, also talking about the potential for a left back, and actually saying how strong the squad could be if we got a left back and another striker through the door. And also a lot of people championing the return of Lyle Taylor if the club can pull it off.
But then surely, if Lyle comes in, hypothetically, we'd surely have to look to offload someone. And would it be, who would it be?
Well, you've still got Harley Dean there, haven't you, and players like that. And, I obviously I can see Sheffield Wednesday, I think, are still interested in him, are they?
Yeah, they keep hinting. Yeah.
I'm guessing the Lyle deal is a loan deal anyway, isn't it?
It would be a loan, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it?
So
I understand it. Forest want him off the books, full stop, though. So they've told him he is free to leave. So whether they put a value behind him or not now, it will be very interesting to see, because perhaps he could broker himself a way out. I mean, let's face it, I think they've signed, was it 18 players so far? So he's
signed 18, yeah.
20 players by tomorrow, listen. Yeah. Just going back to the Duke one that Craig was just talking about, and my biggest concern there is the club not going to the EFL or to the FA and questioning that one, because this happens week in, week out in every league. So why are we not, as a club, in the situation that we're in with the number of players we have? Why are we not going back and fighting that?
I don't understand it. I mean, you watch it in the Premier League, and there was so much, again, across the weekend, examples of where players were booked for taking dives in the penalty area. But you don't hear about those players, them being suspended for 2 games. The actual quote for Djukovic was that he deceived the officials by not speaking up.
Not being
actually, again, I said it on Saturday night, he's the most honest guy you could meet. I just don't understand it. Really don't understand it.
As I say, I don't understand. As you said earlier, you don't understand why it wasn't contested.
Yeah,
it's ironic, it's ironic because I say most of the referees deceive us as pretending to be referees for most weeks.
And if you're honest with them, then you only get a yellow card anyway. So where does the ban come in there? So if he's honest with them and he puts his hands up in the game and says, "Yeah, I took a dive," then he's going to book him. He's not going to send him off.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a ban there anyway.
No.
They've set an example now. They've got to, and it was the FA, incidentally. I've seen a lot of people commenting EFL don't like us, but actually this was an FA ban. So on that pretense, the FA now have got to follow it through. Otherwise, there's clubs like ourselves who could jump all over him later on down the door and say, well, why'd you do it for one and not others? Be interesting to see. I await the next one, but I bet it doesn't get published anywhere and we don't find out about it.
I bet you.
It was a foul though on Craig.
Well, from where I was, I was in the Tilton, so I was in front of it. From where I was, it looked as though he clipped him.
Yeah.
When you watch the video, I don't think he fully got him, but I do think there was a nick on his heel. I just think there was just that little bit. And, momentum takes you forwards. He's a big guy as he is.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Like somebody tapping my heels from behind, I'm going to fall. I'm not saying I'm taking a dive, but I'm going to go as well. So I just don't get it.
Yeah.
So looking at the replay after, I wasn't sure if he looked him, I'll be totally honest, but at the end of the day, once it's given, it's just typical, isn't it, that this is a new rule now. It's one of our players has done it. One of our players has done it. They've suddenly brought it out as a big new rule, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely some sort of agenda against us, because we don't get penalties either, do we? Really?
Not really.
We don't get, I don't know. It's just. It's always an uphill battle, isn't it, from the first whistle to the last.
Certainly is, yeah. Just before we go further, I'd like to wish Caroline Kari all the best for her surgery tomorrow. That's from everybody here at Tilton Talk. Good luck, Caroline, and treat light on, darling. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, good luck, Caroline. So hopefully then things will change and. We'll start to change the way we play. And I just want to see us pose a threat to the opposition. I want to see the goalkeeper on the opposition's team working for a living more. I want to see him getting his gloves worn more. Because I think Alan said it last week, we'd had, up until before Saturday's game, we'd had 5 shots on target in 5 hours of football, or 5.5 hours of football. That, at any level, is ridiculous.
It is, It is, Dini once again getting stick.
He's getting crucified again, isn't he? I mean, fair enough. I mean, they were terrible Saturday, so they all deserve a bit of stick. But again, we say it every week. Troy seems to get more than most.
Let's give him a bit longer, and let's get some better players around him that can get us up the pitch and hopefully create a bit more. I just want to see him on the end of a few more chances, because if he was missing chances left, right, and centre,
You could, yeah.
then you could obviously moan a bit more. But he's hardly getting anything at all.
He's feeding on scraps, and he's not used to that. You know, most of his career has been played. You know, ball pushed through behind the back four, running onto it, smashing it in the net.
Yeah.
When it's pumped up to his neck, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah. The chairman's in there to watch him.
Yeah, Alan's woken up from his long afternoon sleep.
And he's completely forgotten that he'd left his glasses on his head.
Oh, yeah, he's got 2 pairs of glasses on.
Can you see us, Alan? Can you hear us? Hello.
Well,
Oh, the drugs are working.
if you'd have read my article, there is no meeting tonight. What's going on?
Oh, we changed our mind.
I can see and hear you.
Good, well done.
You can't,
Welcome.
He's only got one job, Alan. You know, he just didn't shout it enough to you, did he?
I did send you the link. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, do you want to catch up, Alan?
you on twice.
Caroline says.
Yes, I'm just ready.
Are you ready, Eric?
I went onto Facebook and you're there.
You're right, yeah, because I just sent you the link.
Hang on a minute.
This is part of your nap, Alan. It's just a weird dream.
Yeah, we're not here at all. I'm definitely not here. In fact, I'm definitely not here. I've got a new theme anyway for the show. Here we go. That sort of suits the mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll replace the tamper.
The going back to the Deeney side of things, and there's a comment here from Steve Kimberley where he said Deeney said the other week that he can't cross the ball to himself, you know, and that is very, very true. He's working hard, but he's not getting into the positions. But he's not getting into the positions because we haven't got people supplying him the way that we actually need them to, and perhaps these new signings will help.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example, right? Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world, and we had him up front in the Euros last summer in the final against Italy. Everyone remember him even getting a chance, never mind missing a chance?
No, don't remember touching the ball.
He spread the ball wide to Kieran Trippier for the goal, but then after that, we just sat back and tried to defend it for 85 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, and again, we were playing this wretched formation. You know, and in my opinion, anyway, that's what cost us.
The thing is, though, Paul, a lot of people say, "Oh, most of the football league plays, you know, 3 at the back now." Who cares what the rest of the football league do? Yeah. Let's concentrate on what we do.
I watch a lot of football, and I see a lot of teams playing 4-3-3 as well, and I've seen a couple of 4-4-2s, but 4-2-3-1 as well is a popular formation. You know, but all I do know is that our team have never done anything doing it. You know, 4-2-3-1 under Rowe, it worked. 4-4-2 under Monk worked. Yeah. And them are the only 3 seasons, really, that I've half enjoyed, if you like, over the last 10. Yeah. The rest of it was all, you know, obviously Lee Clark at times, bless him as well, tried his best with what he had. And, you know, he could spot a player, couldn't he? I'll give him that. He signed some good play. And he was 4-4-2 a lot. And he had a little purple patch as well until he had to send all his players back, didn't he? The likes of Lingard, Byrne, and Hartley at the time. You know, we lost a lot of players, but he you know, who knows? He might have done a little bit better as well if we'd have kept the best players that season. But, you know, he certainly never played 3-5-2. You know, so we shall see what happens once we do our business before Thursday night. Let's see how many players we get in. Hopefully we do get a left back. And hopefully Chong does come in as well. And then that'll give the place a big lift, won't it? And going into the next home game after that, then, you know, if we're starting 3-5-2 again and Chong's right wing back and Hannibal's left wing back, you know what I mean? And Joe Bryan's playing left-sided centre half, if that's who we're signing, then I'll probably give up and walk out.
Yeah.
Or the whistle. Yeah.
What are people's realistic thoughts on ins and outs before that window closes? Because I think we might see 3 in, and we might see 4 going out. I think Lico's on his way.
Is it going?
There's rumours he's out. He's going out on loan again, and obviously he wasn't even in the squad on.
He weren't on the bench.
No. Harley Dean. You know, we've mentioned Sheffield Wednesday there already, but I think he'll be well and truly in the window to get out there. Do I think he'll go permanent? No, it's going to be another loan move. And yeah, I think we'll see a couple of the youngsters go out as well. But you know, let's make it clear that's for experience. You know, we can't afford to let everybody go, but I think that there will be, definitely youngsters going out the door.
Let's be honest, Craig. It happens at all clubs. They all send the youngsters out.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the window as well. Sorry, Paul. It's just the window itself and the way that it is at the moment, right? You look at the players that are coming into the Premier League, not necessarily permanent moves, but loan moves. And they're all quoting the fact that they want to be playing football because the World Cup is in November. For me, the Championship sides have no better time at the moment to go and get some young, eager fringe players from the Premier League because they want to prove, they want to play. They want, if they go in there and all of a sudden they have a storming couple of months, then Gareth Southgate's going to be looking and going, "Oh, I've got to take notice here." And he's not going to take no notice of it being Championship football. What he's going to hear is they're at a Premiership club. So everybody's got a point to prove. And hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of those.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. Actually, can I just ask Mark a question?
Go on.
Mark, Austin Trusty. What do you know about him? You might know probably a bit more than us being over there. What are your views on him?
Yeah, he's highly rated here across certainly the MLS. But I'm looking at it from an Englishman's point of view, and no disrespect, the MLS level's never been really high from my point of view. But from people that I've spoken to, from an MLS front, he's always been highly rated. He seems to be a good guy coming through. I know the US national team are obviously talking about him for the World Cup as well, which is only going to help. I think he's been excellent since he comes to Blues. Honestly, I don't think if we're going to pick a positive out of where we are, I think he's one of them. But yeah, it'd be nice to see him go to the World Cup with America as well and give him that boost. But yeah, I don't pay attention much to the MLS stuff because I'm just watching a lot of it. I'm watching the English football still with us and the Premier League and everything else. So, but from the feedback I get, it's always been positive.
Do you think?
Because he seems a nice, he seems to have mentally screwed on as well. He seems to get it,
Yeah. Do you think he'd comfortably go in the back four as well, Mark, as a two rather than a three?
I think he would, yeah. I think I'd put him. I mean, for me personally, I'd put him with Sanderson, and I'd just use both of them as in the back four, and I'd take Roberts out. Roberts can be on the bench. He doesn't, normally you don't bring a centre half on as a sub usually unless there's an injury. So you might not see much of him, but I think two better ones are Sanderson and Trusty right now.
Another kid we've got as well that seems to obviously been forgotten about, obviously because he hasn't featured yet, is Nico Gordon as well, who's a very good centre half as well.
Yeah, what's happened to him?
Still injured, hasn't he?
He's been injured, yeah.
Still injured,
Once we get him match fit as well,
we've
got a hell of a player there on our hands, I think. He was showing a hell of a lot of potential last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came in and he did a great job. So it's exciting to have. Like I said earlier, I'm a full believer that the youth players need to get a chance. I work with youth players every day of my life, and it's just tough in the situations that we're in. I feel sorry for them at times because they're thrown so deep into what's a negative situation, and that doesn't help them mentally prepare for anything.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to know what's happened to Odin Bailey as well. So he's he's just gone off the radar, which is weird. Really, he's just disappeared.
It's interesting, actually. There's just been a comment that
I just saw that.
Will be sold, and as somebody put it, if he can't cut it in the Scottish leagues, how can he cut it with us? Well, actually, I think he's a lot better than he's been given an opportunity to do. We will see. And Mark, there was one other comment. It's an interesting one here. It's during the World Cup, England or America?
England for me, but my wife's not listening to the show, so it may change.
Coward.
No, definitely England, and my little one's got his England kit ready. So yeah, we're
good lad.
England over
here.
Yeah, nice.
Scott's just saying here that Nico Gordon is bang average. Yeah, that's your opinion, Scott. I quite liked him when he played for us. I thought
for a youngster, I thought.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
He was good on the ball. He was commanding in the air. He was quick.
Yeah.
And I thought he got better with every game. To be honest,
yeah.
The more
to be honest, Paul. Going back, I mean, looking at Wes Harding play for Rotherham the other day. I mean, in a way, he's had the last laugh. You know, he's in the top 5 at the minute. It's been a
On the
good
bench,
move for him.
Benchmark.
He played. No, he played. He
Did he?
played.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he had a decent game. I mean, you know, we weren't obviously watching him intently, but he seemed, you know, he seemed like he could slot into the Blues team.
Yeah, well, he was fantastic when Monk first came in, and he played.
Yeah, he was.
Played him right back with Colin left back, and then we seemed to mess around with him. Then we were playing left back, centre half.
He seemed to lose his confidence a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember him playing left back against them up the road, and it just didn't suit him at all, did it? He wasn't any good at centre left back, but he was really good at right back. Really good. I thought
When he first went to Rotherham, he played a lot of games at left back.
Did it?
Yeah,
Right.
and was very successful. You know, you read man of the matches, and gradually they moved him across again.
Yeah.
But if you take the youngsters in our team at the moment, they are perhaps most of them are at a stage where they should be going out on loan from us and getting experience. But because we're so desperate, they're having to get that experience with us.
With us,
and it's tough. You know, we haven't got. I mean, I've said this in my blogs. If we continue with the 11 that was probably our best available 11 on Saturday. That side would be wouldn't get relegated this year. He'd get relegated in the next 2 years. You know, it just isn't good enough. Now, if we strengthen it up and put the kids in, you know, 1 or 2 at a time, they will develop then. But at the moment, we're relying on them, and that's not fair.
I think that 11, if we keep playing this formation, it could get relegated. You know?
Well,
don't change the way we play.
I'm not in love with it either. But if he's gonna play that, he's got to have the players to do it.
Yeah.
And he hasn't at the moment. He's got the 3 at the back, which, because they're always under pressure, you know, they're going to concede eventually. We've got nothing. We got nothing to relieve the pressure. You know, we didn't have a shot the first half. I mean, Mark, you were there.
Yeah.
Did you feel at any stage in the game that, you know, we'll get going in a minute and blah blah blah?
No, not Alan. From the first minute, all it was Roberts floating it sideways to no one. The ball, when we did the rare occasions we did have the ball, it's Sanderson running sideways, not having a clue who to give it to, and it was just a collection of throw-ins and playing it so narrow down the touchline. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We never looked. The only time we looked like scoring was those couple of shots to start the second half. You know, and Bakuna blasted it wide and all the rest of it. But the whole game is just, you didn't look like scoring.
The opposition will look at our team and say, well, we'll sit on Bakuna, and as long as he doesn't do anything, this side won't score. And I mean, that Dukey suspension, I mean, I cannot get me hat on with that. I mean,
I was going to ask your views on that.
Suspended for being fouled. I mean, goodness me. But we've got 330 pluses up front to choose from. 330 pluses. And, you know, Dukey's, I think Dukey's legs went 2 years ago. But anyway, you know, we all love him, and I can't argue with his effort and his, you know, he's whatever. Deeney, you know, he's under pressure all the time. You know, you're the hero. You've got to produce. And Hogan was great when he started, and has got steadily worse in the time he's been here. He'll still get us 10 goals eventually. But
I think so.
It's 20 we want, not 10.
Yeah, I think somebody remarked earlier that
our second best scorer.
Yeah. He looks uninterested apparently.
He looks totally not bothered. But there again, all of them did.
The thing is, as well, though, we're playing wing backs, and we haven't got a wing back at the club, have we?
No.
Natural. No.
I'd certainly like to see the Polish lad playing in a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
You know, show them. You've only got to shove them all across one. Trusty at left back and Colan at right back. There's your 4.
Yeah.
And off you go. You know, 4 midfielders and 2 up front. Let's give it a go.
Well, I'd even have Friend instead of Roberts. To be fair, I think Friend is quite composed and quite calm, if you like. I'd have a friend over.
Maybe.
I'd have a friend over
Yeah.
Roberts any day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue with that.
And
Again,
what about
got
Bellingham? Do you think
30
he?
plus?
Yeah, do you think Bellingham should get a start?
I don't think he's. To be fair to him, and I might be slated, but whenever he has had a chance, he's looked completely average.
Mm.
He hasn't.
I'm
You're going to get
If you
slated,
don't
you
play
are.
him, I've said it already, but if you don't play him, you'll never know. You know, and
Yeah.
Bellingham needs a full game, really.
Yeah, I think he
but
does.
the 3-5-2 formation doesn't fit him.
No,
You go
I agree with that.
And then you might have that more of an opportunity. He could actually be that midfielder that is capable of threading those balls that we need when we move forwards.
Could be. It could be.
He's also let's also realise, you know, he's still really young, you know, and Mark's nailed it there, you know, really. Those youngsters need to play. Then the under-23s for me, I'd be playing him more just so that he gets experience. And also against the players that are of better standard, so that we do get to know what he can and can't do. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders because of his name. There's a lot of weight on Deeney's shoulders because Deeney is Mr. Blues. You know, perhaps the day that weight is removed is the day that we see the true potential in both of them. And yeah, I mean, again, looking at the comments that people have come through with, you know, why is there so much negativity against Deeney? People then say Deeney didn't look like he was showing up for anything. He doesn't. He has more passion around social media and interviews than he does playing for the Blues. You know, what somebody does in their own time, they're doing their own time. We're never going to stop him from doing that. I do agree that he needs to turn up and show a little bit more. And what he did against Watford, for example, brilliant. Want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Perhaps tomorrow night, dare I say it, we're playing a better team, and we always seem to turn up against these better teams. Yeah. We might see a different Deeney again tomorrow night. Let's really just see.
I do think whether it's. I'm guessing he must be feeling pretty frustrated.
Yeah. Well, you can see it in his body language out there, and Hogan as well. You know, they're just isolated up there. There's no service for them at all.
There's nothing there.
And again, it's because of this formation. You know, it's the way we're playing. We're playing too deep. There's nobody creating anything. You know, they've got nothing to feed off playing up front, have they? You need, and hopefully now this obviously Chong coming in and Hannibal as well. I'm hoping, and obviously with Bakuna as well, who we know's got ability. When he,
Hannibal's here.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah.
I'd love Chong to be here as well. I mean,
yeah,
I just really would. But ironically, of course, they're only the same ages as some of the kids we are putting in. You know, as much as they will improve our side, they're still kids, and you know they will get munched up if they don't apply themselves, and they're going to get I mean, Chong got kicked from A to B from the moment he stepped on the pitch, especially after that Luton game. He got kicked everywhere till they injured him in the end, and.
There's a good comment here from Lindsay. She says, if Deeney can give the performance he did against Watford, he should be giving that in all games. And I suppose she's right there. I mean, it's all about effort, isn't it? Putting the effort in.
You think he had that extra mile in him because it was Watford then, yeah? Is that what we think?
I'm guessing so,
Possibly.
Yeah. But why can't him, and not just him, but why can't all the players just give that 100%? Which they're not giving at the moment. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
It'd be the most.
Go on, Mark.
Sorry, Craig. I was going to say it'd be the most Blues thing in the world to go and get a result tomorrow.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. And win the FA Cup.
I don't worry when we're losing games. I don't worry as much when we are. I hate losing, obviously, with anything. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I hate losing, but you know. I'm a bit less concerned when we're creating, 10, 12, 13 chances. But when you're creating none, and against 10 men as well recently, really, we didn't really lay a glove on them either. And that is worrying. that is worrying.
Mark, it would be the most Blues thing, but this is the thing I've sort of been getting at for weeks. Let's not be, a decent side would have beaten Wigan, beaten Rotherham, and maybe got done 2-0 against Norwich. Not the other way. The other way round is you can't rely on miracles every week. We put it in today, but if we'd have got the 6 points that we should have been thinking about getting, then we go into the Norwich game and we give it a go. And if we lose, we got those 6 points to sit on. Now we're going in there desperate. We got to get something out of this. Let's not be that upside down team, if you like. Let's be normal. Let's be normal.
I mean, Jason answered this perfectly for everyone, which is all we ask for as fans is just to give 100%, show passion, and play for the badge and for the fans. And that against Watford, we saw that. We have not seen it since. Now, who knows why that is? The only people that know are the players. They're the ones that need to answer a lot of what's going on. I am, and I will say, really fed up of people calling already for John Eustace's head, because changing the managers does not help.
Games. No, 5 games.
Yeah, 5 games, and they're calling for his head. Right? The people on the pitch that are kicking the ball need to take responsibility for what they do.
Well, there's no difference, is there, from last season, really?
No.
If anything, we're probably worse. Well, we have been so far.
I think that something that I've been thinking about, instead of looking at my messages, is John Eustace a replace? We got rid of Bowyer. Is it? I don't want this to sound as bad as it's going to. Is he the cheap replacement? We can get this bloke. Yeah, he's got a bit of experience. He's had some good grounding with other people, and we can get him for half the price that we got for Bowyer. That's always in the back of my mind. And then they go and do something like today and get these two, hopefully 2 of them, but certainly 1. And you think, well, this must be costing them. We got rid of Woods to replace him with this bloke. Okay, we're still looking at the pennies, but at least we've got some quality there. Now with the manager, if you go back 10 years, we got Alex McLeish, the manager of Scotland, Chris Hughton, who was manager of big club Newcastle, etc., etc. And then we start slipping down the pecking order. Then we get Rowett, who looks like he was going to be, of that level. Of course, we lose him, so we slip down the what's it again, and we go for a cheaper alternative, if you like. Now, again, it's only a gut feeling. It's not, I've got no basis of fact. But it's just you look at the situation, and is it another money saving scheme?
I'm guessing so.
Trying to get the most out of as little as possible, and that if that's true, then we are in trouble, because we're spiraling now and we can't get out of that. We need somebody who's inspiring. Now, hopefully John Eustace will be that inspiration. He'll come along and say, "I'm going to show these people," and I'll be the first, to say to him, "You show me, pal, because I want you to, that you are the man." And we don't want a manager for 6 months. We want a manager for 10 years. We want you to create a dynasty, the John Eustace team. And if that's how you're thinking, I'm on your side then, and forget what you cost. And, you might cost more than the other managers, who knows? But we do need that stability and ambition and vision. And this is Birmingham City. I put it in that article. We shouldn't be not beating Wigan more than 3 times in 40 years, that is disgraceful. It culminated on last week, and Rotherham, ironically, their new ground, we never got beaten before.
Mm-hmm.
We capitulated. Not okay. If we'd have give it a go and got beaten, fair enough. But we just lay down, and our tummy felt not good enough.
I think it's spot on.
It does feel like we're taking the Peroni out of the fridge and replacing it with Kestrel, doesn't it? In a way,
Yeah.
The Pepsi and replacing it with Roller Cola. But
it's not so much a dynasty; it's more of an Emmerdale.
Oh, geez, Mark, you're getting.
Oh my life!
I've had the Pepsi and the Peroni in the fridge. I've struggled with that.
Oh no, it's going to be.
With M&B mild.
Can we call this the analogy half hour? Nigel Mann says
we have struggled though, Chris, haven't we? We have struggled.
Oh, yeah.
We've struggled with players on big money. A lot bigger money than the players we've got at the moment, and we just don't seem to go anywhere with it. So
I think this is a true comment from Nigel Mann. He says it can't always be the manager. We have to look in the mirror. 11 man effort.
Yeah.
Just there's also a comment that's come through. I'll be honest, I didn't want to raise this tonight, but I'm going to add it on there because I just want to put out there that I'm in total disagreement with everything again. Apparently, tomorrow evening there will be another protest from Birmingham City Centre to the stadium, and then there are also plans for yet another pitch invasion. Now, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. We've just brought in a player with apparently a second player being signed on a permanent contract, that player being Chong, and that the people backing these signings are the people who are trying to buy the club. Paul Richardson, Maxi Lopez are putting their money where their mouths are. Why the hell, as fans, are we thinking of doing protests and pitch invasions at this present time is beyond me. We'll put ourselves right in the window with the EFL. Yet again, they will throw the book at us. There is a meeting, when you look at Tom Rossi's updates, in the middle of September for the parties of BHSL, Paul Richardson and Maxi Lopez with the EFL to resolve things. Leave it. Let's just get on with things. Back the team. Don't waste all your energy on backing protests. It's not working. Just back the team. If people want to shoot me down, carry on. But that's my thoughts on it, and that's the last thing I'll say.
Just to play devil's advocate, Craig, can we be sure that Lopez and Richardson are behind these signings?
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Maxi Lopez.
That's what I'm just saying. That's what people are going to say. Aren't they?
His name was against the It was his tweet that I read announcing the arrival of Hannibal. What his name is.
All right.
So you would hope so. Hope it's not some sort of hoax. But let the fans march from Digbeth to the ground. Fine, shout, cheer, protest, whatever, and then that's the end of it. Go into the ground, get behind your team,
get behind the lads,
and that's it. I certainly don't want any nonsense in the ground.
No, I don't agree with it in the ground, but it has helped. Remove the likes of Dong in recent years, and obviously maybe we wouldn't even be talking about Richardson and Lopez without protests outside the stadium in the past. So I think they have helped get us to where we are now, but I don't agree with anything going on in the stadium when the game's going on.
Well, that's exactly what Noel Blake said. We spoke to Noel Blake last season, and he said exactly the same.
Yeah.
He said exactly the same. He said, do your noise, whatever, going up to the game. As soon as they get over the touchline, the game starts. That's when it should stop.
That's when the players need us then as well behind them.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you don't mess with Noel Blake.
No. And Nigel Mann, he's just said the only protest he wants to see is on the pitch, the 11 men giving us all and winning the game.
That's what they should be doing. Yeah, that's it.
You don't want them to feel anxious going out there either, or under loads of pressure. And I'll go back to Bellingham. Job, obviously, he's carrying the weight of the shoulders, obviously, of his brother, as well, and we'll compare. And I don't know if that's fair, really, to be honest. Is he ever going to, is he ever going to be as good as his brother? Probably not. But even if he's half as good as his brother in this league, he will be top draw. You know what I mean? Because his brother has got the potential to be a ball winner in the future. If he gets under the right coach. Let's say he goes to Liverpool or Man City under Klopp or Guardiola, he could be a Ballon d'Or winner in 5, 3, even in 2, 3 years.
Totally agree. And I think the other thing is, you go back to Bellingham. Actually, when you listen to reports on the Bellingham brothers, Job, at his age, is rated better than Jude is. The difference is the fact Jude had an opportunity of a run in a team where, arguably, at the age of 16, he was one of the best players on the pitch.
He was by a country mile, Craig, every game. Right?
And now we need Job to get the same. And I'll tell you what, the day he does get that run, all right, I think will be the start, a massive start of his career. He's agreed to sign for the club. He's already showing his roots and he wants to settle down. Now we've got to give him a chance. The one thing I would say is I would hate to think that we're bringing in all these players and now he doesn't get a chance, because actually I think he's earned an opportunity. He's earned that chance to go out and do something. And for the club, in the League Cup, he didn't look out of his depth when he played. A couple of comments where he's come on for the last 10 minutes and he's out of his depth. Well, he's up against the team that's probably 1-0, 2-0 down, and he's coming on the pitch. So there's undue pressure being put onto his shoulders. Give him a chance from the start, see what he can do.
Yeah, obviously, Mark, you're a coach yourself. If you was in that dressing room tomorrow night before we go out against Norwich, what would you be saying to the lads?
It's difficult right now. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the atmosphere is like within the dressing room. Like, is it the whole doom and gloom and frustration? Is it people arguing with each other, or is it like they're all stuck together still? And for me, you have to remain calm as a coach, and you just need you need to just go into them. I don't know if you guys watch the All or Nothing with Arsenal.
Yeah,
if you see the Arteta give the photographer the team talk.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing.
I saw that. That was good.
He could talk from the heart, and he was, he basically told them, this is what the fans want. This is what we want as a club. Go out there and prove that. And I think that, for me, that was excellent. I thought that he did a great job doing that. And I'm not saying bring somebody else in to do it, but I think if you use this right now, you stay calm. You try not to worry about what else is going on within the club, and you focus on the 11 people that are starting the game and getting them out there. And for us as fans, if I was in there right now, all I'd be saying to them is what we've been saying the whole show. Give 100%, play with your heart, play with passion, play for the badge, and win, lose, or draw, every single fan will stand up and clap you at the end.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. Let's send Jeremy in at half-time.
I'd love to hear Jeremy announcing "Come on Blues" as they're walking on the pitch.
I think that'd be great.
I think I'd want them to know. I'd want them to know. I'd want them to know what it means to the fans as well. That badge on the shirt, what it actually means and what they're actually representing. Because they're representing themselves first and foremost, and the club and the fans.
And I think that's why he gets so much stick from everybody, because we believe he's one of us. So he has that in his heart. So you want him to share that with the other players. But for him as well, he's a human being. He's a football player. He has got the pressure of being at his boyhood club, and he is going to have frustrations as well himself that we as fans don't really see and take on board. So I'm sure when you look at him and you're thinking he's not working hard enough, maybe that is a bit of frustration in him. Like, I'm trying to play for my team, and it should be 11 men on the field and not just one. It's difficult. And I'm not trying to stick up for anybody here. I'm trying to see that mindset between, player and supporter.
Yeah. Anyway, it's nearly off. Time's flying by here. So, Craig, have you got us ready for squad game?
I haven't at the moment, but give me 2 minutes and I will pick the 2 years.
Okay, no problem at all. And who's going head to head this week?
Can I just nip in with something before you do that?
Yeah, go on.
About the Bellinghams. When Jude came in the side, A, we had a much better team. B, he was under no pressure because who's this kid? 16-year-old. I drove down from here to Portsmouth to watch him, and we got beat 3-0. I wasn't impressed, but I wanted to be there. Then the next game, he gets the winning goal, and it's a fairy story. The goal he got at Charlton, I was there that day, wonderful, and it was a wonderful team goal, and he was part of something that worked. Not as well as it should have done in the fullness of time, but it was working. This poor lad's come into a side that ain't working, and you're the brother of Jude Bellingham, and, you say, what does it mean to wear that badge? Well, ask yourself, if you went in there, you've been playing football for, I don't know, Solihull Moors, let's say.
Yeah.
And Birmingham say, you're the kid, blah, blah, in. Now you come out of that into what is being expected of you, right? And it ain't quite like Manchester United, but you know that every one of those 16, 17,000 people in there looking at you thinking, you are it. You're the luckiest guy on the earth. Go out, you got to do it. And it's not that easy. Ricky Otto, remember him? His problem was Birmingham City was too big for him. He played for Orient and he played for Southend and he was a star. And 800,000, whatever it was, and a poor kid crapped himself. He really did. And it took him ages and ages to get into that. And it's all relative, isn't it? If you're a 16-year-old kid coming in to play for Birmingham City, big step. If you're a 25-year-old coming in to play for Manchester United, the difference is the same. It's pressure is pressure, and we're fans. We put pressure on them from the moment they sign up. We're all expecting this kid. He probably won't play tomorrow, but to be the saviour, and he's 19.
I know.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It is a big ask, and we probably had a bit of that. What you've just said there about Ricky Otto, we probably had a bit of that with Hotter as well, didn't we? Coming from Brentford as well at the time.
Yeah,
I was quite pleased when we got him because I remember seeing, and it was a big jump for him as well, wasn't it? I mean, he did show up at times for us, but just not often enough, was it?
Does anybody know any more about the arguments full time in the changing rooms? I'm lost on this one. I don't really know.
They reported on Twitter. The Rotherham media guy on Twitter said he heard loud voices coming from the changing room. But I thought that's pretty standard for any.
That's standard full time.
I like to hear that because it tells us they care. So that's not a bad thing for me.
I also heard that some of the fans were disappointed that the players didn't come over to them at full time and say hello.
Well, before the game,
after being given abuse.
Yeah.
I think I can go both ways. I think if you win the game, then nothing's said. At the start of a game, guys are getting off the coach, going to the dressing rooms. They're focused on what's going on with the game, right?
Yeah.
You win the game, it's not said. You lose the game the way we lost it, and then everybody wants to talk about they don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care about that. So it's a difficult one, really.
Yeah.
And also, why would the players come over? And I appreciate they didn't play well, so actually they deserve a little bit of the disgruntlement from the fans, but the constant abuse, the same people, doesn't help. And we go back to Dino, right? If he's getting constant abuse, why would he want to go and see the fans? Why would he want to stand in front of them and hear that being hurled at him? He's not going to. So I think actually, as we've got to realise that sometimes we've got to take it on the chin. All right, we're all disgruntled. We take it on the chin. There is no need to single out individuals. 11 people were on that pitch wearing the blue the weekend. Those 11 people all deserve the same amount of criticism not just one
Well,
person.
to be honest, Craig, all that Twitter stuff was pre-game, and like we've said, they're so focused. If we'd have won the game, nobody would give it a mention.
I think about the kids though with their autograph books and their balls to sign and stuff like that. You know, and it doesn't take much, does it, just to go up to them for
totally agree.
half a minute and just sign their balls and sign their
Yeah.
their autograph books. And
I will say, from what I've seen, they do for most games, and I think actually they've been, a lot of interaction between the players and the fans.
After the game, game, they'll hang around for hours. Any home game, you can meet all of them. They'll hang around for hours.
Yeah. Going back a few years, we have videos like Shay Adams knocking on a guy's door and going in his house and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, like that anymore, do we? And
that was the Gary Monk era, wasn't it? Really, he really tried to associate.
Davo did a great job of that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Davo was in charge there. He did a great job of getting the fans on board with a lot of things. To be honest, to him.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they came around knocking our doors, asking if anyone could play up front. To be honest,
I
can play left back. I'm just a bit far away. That's the problem.
I've got the two squads, Paul. I think we've got Mr. Meredith here. So I think Mr. Meredith, you should be one. And I can't recall, Mr. Watson, whether you've actually taken part recently. So
I did it last week.
me versus Alan last week.
That's right.
I did the week before.
Trounced me. He had the easiest section, but
I think it should be. It's got to be Paul.
Got to be Paul. Yeah.
I'll play against him.
I fancy you, Mark, to give me a run for my money here.
No, this is a clash. This is, come on. My money's on Mark. My money's on Mark.
Just ask him any player who wore that shirt.
Negative one. -1.
Chris, have you got a coin that you can?
I have. Yes. Okay. Heads or tails, Mark?
Heads.
It's tails.
Okay,
Do you want to go first?
Second.
You want to go second? So, Mr. Meredith, your squad year is Birmingham City 2016 to 2017. How many of those do you think you can name?
On you up.
I'll say 10, just because I know Paul's going to have a few more.
You're not Googling there, are you, Mark?
Yeah, he was. His eyes have strayed.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
30 seconds on the clock, please.
On your marks. Get set. Go.
Kuzak. I'm done already. Jonathan Graham. Michael Morrison. Man, maybe I shouldn't have said 10. Davis.
Pressure.
Gardner. Cliftonbout. Magoma. Shay Adams. Clayton Donaldson.
There you go. Time up.
Got 9.
You got
Ooh,
excellent.
Close. Very close.
Pressure's on.
Come on, 1953. 1953.
Well done, Mark.
Paul, your squad is Birmingham City 2004 to 2005.
Okay.
How many? How many do you reckon?
14.
Ooh.
Okay then, on your marks, get set, go.
Mike Taylor, Nico Vassar, Mario Melchior, Kenny Cunningham, Matthew Upson, Jamie Clapham, Jermaine Pennant, Robbie Savage, Darren Carter, Aliou Cisse, Pandiani, Julian Gray, Forsell, Heskey, DJ Campbell, I don't think cancelled the season after, sorry.
I hate you.
David Dunn. Who else did we have there?
Time up.
He's got the team poster on his wall.
He's looking at the tattoo on his arm.
Are you giving me Stan? Are you giving me Stan at the end?
Stan
I am
Regis,
giving you Stan at the
yeah.
end.
I'll give him.
I've got that count as 15.
Oh,
15.
I'm retiring from this.
Some going that is, Paul.
Oh, I'm still at the
Great
bottom of the
time.
league. Then.
That was probably
Well done, Paul.
that's probably one of the best seasons I've seen down there. That was it was almost like a Galactico era, wasn't it? It was,
I wouldn't go that far, Paul.
it was for us, Chris. It was for
I
us.
suppose it was for us, yeah.
Players like, I forgot about Muzzy Izzy. You know, when we got Muzzy Izzy, Jesper Gronk,
Melchior.
and Esky,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, all these players. So we signed for sale permanently, and I'm like, wow, you know, I can't wait to go down the Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Crikey.
so that's
And,
that.
and we still had people like Gronkiar, who was the Dini of his day. He got dogs abuse.
Yeah.
And we got, as you say, got a Galactico team. He's going to come out of Chelsea's side, and we're giving him dogs abuse. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you,
weren't that bad, I don't think.
No.
you know, all through the years, there's always been one player that fans will latch on to
Single
pick
out,
on. And I think we should do a team of that one day as well.
I think
Yeah.
I forgot one of my dad's favourite players from back then, and that was Damien Johnson as well.
Damien,
Oh,
DJ, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't liked. He wasn't liked.
No,
Why?
No.
The kid never
Attitude.
left anything on that pitch.
no.
You know,
He-
good or bad or indifferent, he gave it the lot.
He
and
was brilliant.
he got
He dogs,
abuse. He didn't get criticism. He got abuse. He threw his shirt down
Yeah.
one, and good luck to him. People said he was terrible. I thought, no, you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
No.
Peter Taylor said, well done on your 15, because he couldn't name 15 players since 1992.
I'd struggle as well. I would struggle. I'm in the same boat as well, yeah. Robbie Savage says...
We're going to discuss now, obviously, and whoever gets the most votes, obviously, on the shout box will win this. But we need a second centre half for our underrated Blues 1 to 11, don't we? So far, we've got Colin Doyle in goal, we've got Jerry Gill right back, David Murphy left back, and Gary Ablett as the left-sided centre half. So we need a right-sided centre half next to Gary Ablett.
Can I chuck in Vince Overson again?
Yeah.
Underrated?
Underrated.
I think
Was he
so.
underrated?
He was a
Did you
good
think
offer.
he was?
What do you think, Mark?
I think he was, to be fair.
Mark,
I
think-
Mark in America.
I say I had Barnett last time. I still stick with Dave Barnett. I thought he was very underrated. I think Barnett was good.
Yeah, I love Dave Barnett. He was great, terrific.
What about Martin Urinek?
Yeah.
That is a good shout. That is a good shout, yeah. Yeah.
He was absolutely phenomenal in the cup final, and no one really ever mentions him.
No, that is a great shout.
He's
Yeah.
definitely an unsung hero because he's a Carling Cup winner, and he never really gets mentioned.
No.
You never let us down.
Nobody ever remember his name. That's
No, I'm guessing if somebody was to mention the squad, I'm guessing he'd be one of those that'd be left out
Left out.
for that.
It's a tough one to pick for sure in a few years to come.
Stephen Gill, I agree with your shout, mate, and because I was going to shout out Chris White myself. So
Chris White,
White,
yeah, Chris White, yeah.
scoring that worldie, absolute worldie. I think it was against Leeds, if I remember rightly, in the league.
The wrong end.
Yeah, no,
Own
he
goal.
scored a blinder, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but was he underrated? Was he underrated?
Wasn't that Kevin Francis in the league?
That was Big Kevin scored the first
Chris
one.
White played in the game, but I think Francis scored the goal, didn't he?
But yeah,
Chrissy White scored the own goal.
Chris White got an own goal, yeah.
He still scored. I'm still sticking to that one.
We're changing your name to Nick now, Craig.
And just while we're waiting for a few names to come through as well, can I shout out massive congratulations to Darren Carter and the team at the weekend.
Good result.
Great 4-0 result up at
Yeah.
Sunderland for the Blues women. Looking good. A couple of games in, football wise, actually looking really good, and hopefully can continue that throughout the season and get back up into that top league.
Can I also say many thanks to everybody who's voted for us as well in the content awards as well, and are continuing to vote for us. Also, we need to say thanks to Hollywood Monster who provided tickets for tomorrow. Is it tomorrow night's game? Haven't they? Yeah.
So tomorrow
Fantastic.
night, congratulations to Dave Sull. He was nominated for all of his work during the COVID outbreak and how he changed the way that he ran his business ultimately to continue servicing and helping people. And has actually continued that since. So well done, Dave. And keep the nominations coming in.
Yeah, just on that. And if you think you know somebody who's worthy of 2 tickets, who you feel fully deserve 2 tickets to a game, let us know and we'll put them forward.
Yeah. Coming back onto the women's game though, that one goal was absolute screamer when it was a worldie top corner.
Yep, top corner.
Top right corner. What a finish that was.
There was a lot of comments actually coming out that the ladies should show the men on the training pitch how to strike a ball.
Yeah. But yeah, so who's winning anyway on this underrated?
Would we say Curtis Davis was underrated? I don't think so. I think he was.
I wouldn't
he was pretty good.
I think he came back from being in a position where he was underrated to quite the opposite. I mean, when he first came, and I mean, he's been on the show himself, and he couldn't get in the side. He had a couple of bad games, all that business. But the season he had after we got relegated, he was, he was the business, and he left us and went on to be a good player with other teams as well. I think it was only his beginning with us that he was a little off the pace, shall we say, and people weren't too happy with him, but they certainly were when he left. Sorry to see him go.
Yeah, we also back with us next week, don't we, Chris? It's nothing major, is it? He just got family round today, hasn't he? Been bank holiday.
Yeah. Nick will be back next week. Yeah, back next week. Yeah.
So at the
Looks
moment,
like
we're pretty neck and neck. Dave Barnett's in there.
I was going to say Dave. Yeah.
Billy Wright has come in with a couple of late scout outs.
Yeah.
And
did
also,
anybody see him play?
No.
I think I saw him once when I was about 8 or 9. I couldn't form an opinion.
Got him when he was a teenager.
Stephen Gill, that's not a bad shout from Stephen Gill. Radhi Jaidi,
yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was
from
a good
Everton,
one.
not Everton, not for Wolverhampton. Oh, sorry.
No. We're not that old.
I didn't see Billy Wright play. No, my dad played against him, but I didn't see.
They both came in with Ngotti, right? Both of them came in from Bolton. I thought they were both good players.
we went up in
Jaidi,
I liked.
Yeah,
I did like him. Yeah, it looks like Dave Barnett is storming ahead there, Paul.
Indeed.
Yeah, I remember Bruce saying that Jaidi had a head like a wall. He literally was real in the air, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Headers, some of the headers he scored that season were fantastic, weren't they? But if I was voted, my vote would be Martin Urinek, but that's me.
I think you're right. Yeah, Paul Marden gets a shout as well. I think that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Yeah. So before we enter the last 15, then predictions for tomorrow night. So Mark, do you want to go first? Mark Adams.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully it'll be like the Watford game and we'll scratch a draw. So I'm going to say, let my heart run ahead and say 1-1.
Okay. 1. You always vote with your heart, don't you?
But
the way we've been playing, it's really hard, isn't it, to say, we aren't really creating anything or posing any threat to the opposition. I'll go 1-0 Blues.
I'm going to go. I can't see us getting a win. I just can't see it. I'm going to go for a narrow 3-0 loss.
Mark,
I'm going to take a 1-0 Blues as well. I think we talked about it earlier. It's just it'll be a Blues thing to do, won't it?
Yeah.
Have a good game, get a win, and see what everyone has to say after that game. After then.
Yeah. Can Hannibal play tomorrow night?
He could,
I don't.
Lone players, you can stick straight in normally.
Yeah.
Where's Bellick? Where is he still hurt right now?
Still injured, yeah.
Yeah, he's still trying to get himself fit.
That was the other question I was going to ask about Hannibal. What injuries he got is going to keep him out till the end of November. That's the other cynical part of me thinking, you keep signing these players and they're not ready. Anyway, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to break the habit of a lifetime. I don't like predicting, but I never predict us not to score, and I never predict us to concede, but I'm going to change the habits of a lifetime, and I'm going to say a 2-0 defeat tomorrow, hoping that I'm going to be wrong again.
Yeah. Yes. Reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology.
Craig?
I'm the same as you and Mark. I do fancy us to sneak it 1-0, and you know, just to put it out there, I actually fancy Dean to score the goal.
Yeah, I've got a feeling to try and score.
That would be a boost of confidence, not just to him, but to the team, wouldn't it?
Pete Taylor, yeah, totally agree. 1-0 Blues. Deeney overhead kick assisted by Bellingham. You know, how we would all wish that could happen.
That would be good, yeah.
Hope, you know, is that I'm having a look at the team before the game and we're playing a back four. That's my biggest hope before kick-off. I think that'll give everybody a big lift. I do in the ground, in the stands. I do, because I know so many people that are fed up with this 3-5-2.
Yeah, it's just depressing.
Yeah.
Yes, he can play tomorrow, apparently.
I think he'll be on the bench, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
I don't think he'll be straight in somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it depends on how long he's been with the club, to be honest. I mean, for all we know, he could have been training with us for a week. We don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, so he's certainly been training today.
Yeah. Okay, so that well, if that's the case, then I think he could be in with a shout. He could be starting. Who knows?
And he will have had his pre-season. He's played under 23 games. He's had his pre-season. It's not like he's, you know, like Bilic hadn't done any. And what if it was me, I would say, throw him on and say, give us an hour. You know, don't bring him on when we're a goal down. You know, that's too much. Again, pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, thing is, though,
go out and do your thing.
Well, you don't need to come on when we're losing because you'll face the silence of the fans.
Oh!
You've really been working on that, Mark. We can tell. You've been thinking about
The
that.
whole show is waiting for that one.
Paul, I don't know, 80 minutes in and it's took you that long.
So anyway,
push him on a trolley with his arms tied to his side.
On that note, we've got 10 minutes now, so we're into the last 15. I'll call it the last 15, even though it's the last 10. So this week is anything to do with, and next week, obviously, the kids are going back to school around the Midlands, and it's anything to do with schools, or that you might see in a school or university, as you call them nowadays as well, or academy, and football. So anything to do with education and football, off you go.
Here we go, and I believe you've got about 70 prepared, haven't you?
There's a fair few that may have been prepared.
I think I'll go the loo while you're doing that.
I'll kick us off with Paul Desky Salido.
I like that.
Can I say Nicola Physic?
You can say it. I'll start off with Eraser Ruddock.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, in America, you got any?
Not right now, no.
I like Lindsay's. Lee Summercamp.
Oh,
yeah, clever, Lindsay. Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah, Lee camping there somewhere, didn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if she's ever mentioned it or anything else. The reason why, but it comes up every week when she's talking.
Was it Lindsay who had the cardboard cutout of him as well in the ground?
It may have been. Again, I don't know why.
Yeah. Can Lindsay confirm it?
Yeah.
Phil Summerhill.
Like him.
PSGCE in France. PSGCE.
PSGCE. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
PSGCE.
We've had Maxi College instead of Maxi Colin.
No. Who was that?
That was Jason McDonough.
That's a good one.
That one just popped up before I went. I don't know if you mentioned it, but Lee Summercamp. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That's a good one.
Gary Pendry.
Oh.
Hotter Notebook from Lee Greer.
Got Hotter Get the Bus. Nigel.
What the hell? Oh, yeah, your school. Hotter Get the School Bus.
Tutor Shilton.
Tutor Shilton.
Tutor Shilton.
Jason Hughes, Gordon Grange Hill.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm struggling.
Nigel Mann, most teachers, savage.
So how do we
the school chung?
Hey, what's that one?
School chung.
Oh yeah.
Chalk and Doy.
Yeah,
yeah,
Chalk and Doy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm guessing, Chris and Alan, this might be more relevant to when you was at school, but Harry Kane.
What are you suggesting?
Exactly.
It's a thing of the past now at schools, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, yeah. I did
I was
actually
very
get the
good
cane.
at
I did actually get the cane once.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah.
How much did you have to pay?
Well, I was talking in class, right? And I was brought to the front to face the blackboard, and it just so happened the headmaster was walking past our classroom, gathering up individuals like me, and he took us all down. He caned us all. He didn't even ask me what I'd done wrong.
Shocking.
It just wasn't fair.
Michael Woods may just have cracked it with daily added detention.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like Dave Twines as well. Amari's school bell.
School belt, yeah.
Yeah,
Very good. Very good. Trevor Maths, his son.
Matheson.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Very good from Bray Harborough.
Oh, you see, now Lisa Fields. Some people would know about this, other people won't. But saved by the Jude Bellingham.
Oh,
Yeah.
very clever.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think our audience are a lot cleverer than what you say they are, Craig.
Well,
They're cleverer than
yeah,
us.
I've just got to be
Oh,
honest.
definitely. Yeah,
Richard
that's right. Yeah.
Taylor, our actor friend in Miami. Chris Woodwork.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, that's a subject,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That's
about
something.
Joe Hart?
Joe R. Yeah.
Who's laughing at the same one as me? Dave Twine.
That's fine, yeah. We can't read that one out.
Well, we can. Can't
Go
we?
on, I'll
Can't
let
we
you
say Marcus bent over? If you say it really quick, no one hears.
Oh, I like that one, Jason Hughes. Forgot my Kit Simmons.
Yes, very good.
Stand laser pointeridis. I don't understand it, but it's funny.
It's good.
Can
I just ask- can I just ask,
Go on, Mark.
So I was going to ask Mark in America, are you watching the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be watching it. Yeah, I have Blue TV, so I get all the games. But so yeah, I'll be praying like the rest of us.
Do you watch it at home, or do you go to a bar or somewhere? Or
I just watch it at home. They won't have
Yeah,
Blues
yeah.
TV. If I mention Blues TV at a bar, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. I think so.
yeah,
I watch it here.
That's a great shirt you got on there as well, Mark. By the way, that's is that 89 season or something like that? 88, 89.
88, 89, yeah.
Yeah. That was the shirt they were wearing for my first game ever.
I think it was yours.
it was a sponsor. The Co-op. I had the Co-op.
Co-op,
Yeah,
Co-op
yeah,
milk.
yeah. Wayne.
Wayne Clark.
Wayne Clark. Yeah, I was thinking of Wayne Clark in that shirt. Yeah.
Steve Wigley. Who else was playing there?
Wigley, Whitton, Steve
Roger,
Whitton.
Roger
Whitten,
Hansbury was in goal, wasn't
Yeah, Hansbury.
Yeah,
Kevin Ashley. Frayne. Dix.
John Frayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
he in Ian Anderside before then, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Tyler Blackboard. That was a good one.
Tyler Blackboard.
Spam Lazaridis.
Oh, I know.
Spam.
I'm just trying to figure that one out. Spam, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about lunch, he's got to be
Used to
school
get
lunch.
that for school dinner spam, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've thought of a good one for next week, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you now, though. I'm going to keep you in suspenders. Teddy Shirtingham. Teddy Shirtingham. Yeah.
I was going to say Blazer Rudder.
Blazer Ruddock. Not a bad one.
Jeff Pommel Horsefield.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Clever.
We've got
Somebody-
the Hall from Sam Mullet.
Somebody asked earlier about safe standing. Do we ever think it'll happen at the Blues?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think it could happen. I mean, I don't know whether or not it would affect the actual overall attendance. You know, let's say, I don't know, one day we fill the ground again. Would we get less than what we would if we didn't have it? I don't know. Because you see, obviously, behind the stat, I've seen it yesterday at the Custard Bowl, and you know, or the day before, sorry, and you know, it looks like to me like it's taking up, you know, a bit more room than just having the seats. If you know what I mean. I don't know if I could be wrong. Though. It could be completely deceiving.
Well, when I was there for the England game, the way it was set up was actually, it is really, really clever. it's just like basically having your good old barrier put in front of you, really. So it gives you the optionality. If you sit down, you're not got an obscured view, which is great. If you want to stand up, at least it's safe and you're not going to fall on the person in front of you.
Yeah.
I'm all in favour of it at St Andrews. And actually, I believe that when we do finally fix the stands, whenever that may be, that'll be one of the things that we see coming.
Yeah, hopefully. It would be good.
Especially if it's a cheaper option.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be a cheaper option. Yeah.
Jason Hughes.
Scaffolding.
Clem Sol Campbell.
Yeah, Tim Sol Campbell.
Pete Taylor, Andre Conchel's Kiss Chase.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And, hopefully we get good news then in just under a month's time when, with Lopez and Richardson, and hopefully, stuff's more official and we can move forward with it and, we can have a brighter future, because I think, us fans definitely deserve that, don't we?
Yeah.
Here's one. Do you think without their money that they've already put forwards into the club, do you think we'd have actually carried on the way that we are, or do you think that money is already being used to help fund us and keep us going?
Sorry, say that again, Craig. I don't quite...
The money that Paul Richardson and Lopez have already put into the club for their kind of deposit, haven't they? They've had to show proof, etc.
Yeah.
Do you think that our money's already been put into the club? I do. I think it's been used already to keep us going.
I think,
if not completely, it's certainly in part.
In drips and drabs, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we got rid of Woods to make room for things, but there's more. There will be, hopefully there will be more coming in than Woods' dismissal would have paid for. So there must be some of it being used. Else, what's the point? You could put 10 quid deposit down, couldn't you? Obviously put millions in, so the club is going to use that money straight away.
I don't know what to think of the reports that were circulating around the sum of money for Woods as well. 2.3 million euros. I think I saw.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Pete Taylor's won this easy, man.
It's brilliant, though, isn't it?
He had a bowl of pink custard.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Excellent. Oh god.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You're older now. Look.
I think
Coconut
we're there.
Punch was the other one.
I think it's time to say goodbye, Paul.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So fingers crossed for 3 points tomorrow night. Anyway, and
yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, Mark, in America. I'll start with you, mate.
Appreciate you guys, and keep right on.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers, Mark.
The robe, without the robe.
Yeah, what robe's been starched, ready for the winter. Been deloused.
It'll come in on its own next week.
But actually, in the summer, we should call him Mr. No Robe.
Yeah, no robe. Yeah.
Have 3 points tomorrow. Fingers crossed, and I hope everybody listening, watching, and all of us have a good week and get back on our feet a bit with the Blues.
The chairman of the board.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Blues TV have got me set up again. I have booked in to watch tomorrow, and I shall be sitting here all day waiting for it to start. All the best, everybody. God bless you all.
Cheers, Alan.
Craig.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining in tonight. And here's for a good game, 3 points hopefully tomorrow night, and a much, much better atmosphere. So let's get behind the boys, show them how much they mean to us, and let's give them some backing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's what by no means least, Mrs. Brown.
Yep, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. You've been listening to your Tilton Talk Show.